Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. This one's going to be doing my weekly Saturday Spotlight video. Still very sorry I missed last week's Character Spotlight video. I was super busy last week, and also I remember that was when the trailer just came out and all this kind of stuff. So we were a little busy last week with the trailer for The Walking Dead Season 10, which definitely was an amazing trailer. Probably one of the best trailers The Walking Dead has done. So it feels like a movie. I love the Season 10 trailer. But to get back to the Character Spotlight videos for this week, this one is long overdue. This one is going to be a Character Spotlight video on Benjamin from the Kingdom. So, this one was suggested by Brian Archam, so definitely big shout out to Brian Archam. And he has made a good few Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead videos, so go ahead and subscribe to him. He does some Walking Dead content on his channel. So this week, the shout out goes out to Brian Archam. So, and I really want to apologize to Brian specifically, because he's the one that actually suggested this, and I didn't get around to it until 2 weeks later now. So, big apologies to him, so definitely a huge shout out goes out to Brian Archam for this video. So, okay, so Benjamin from the Kingdom. So, he is a character that I feel like was a little underrated, if you ask me. I've always kind of felt this way about him. They didn't use him as much as I thought they were going to. If you really want to count the episodes, I mean, he was in episode 2, The Well, he was in episode 9, he was in episode 10, and he was in episode 13, so that's only 4 episodes, but, he did have a pretty big role in all those episodes, and all those episodes specifically focused a lot on the Kingdom, so it makes sense, but, in episode, so he, of course, is introduced in episode, season 7, episode 2, The Well, and killed off in season 7, episode 13, so, a lot of times with Walking Dead, and I noticed this a lot over the years, they usually have like season characters where the character's introduced around the beginning of the season, and near the end of the season they're killed off and they don't make it into the next season, and they're kind of considered to be almost like season characters that don't really have a long-term storyline on the show. They're just there for one season and then they're gone. Walking Dead does that a lot with characters. I mean, seriously, you could name off so many, like one, who could I use as an example of that? Like Richard from the Kingdom, or, Milton, he was a season 3 character, or, I don't know, just things like that. So, that's really what I mean by when I say season character. So, Benjamin from the Kingdom, he was kind of like a season character. So, he was introduced in episode 2, Morgan, of course, and Carol showed up, and, Morgan and him kind of have like a father-son type of relationship. I like how he teaches Morgan how to, use the staff and stuff, which does help, of course, when they go do the drop-off with the Saviors. We have the fight with Richard and stuff, and Jared, which of course we gotta hate Jared, but I do like how Ben steps right in, he pulls the gun out, and, he's kind of like he's ready to go, so, yeah, they definitely, they make him seem like a pretty tough kid, and, of course, in episode 9, he kind of is more used to using the staff, so he's going around, and of course, Carol finds him, and she's like, you might want to heel toe out here, because I heard you from a mile away, because it's like, if Carol heard Benjamin from a mile away, anybody's gonna hear Ben from a mile away. And honestly, I don't know, I really like the part where she's just like, look, I heard you coming, like Carol's like, like he's just like, what'd she say? She's like, it's gonna be dark soon, don't wander around here, in the middle of the night. And, Benjamin says to Carol, like, he's just like, you too, right? That goes for you too, right? And she's just like, you're not me. Go home, Benjamin. So it's like, yeah, it's true. You're not Carol. Carol's one of the toughest characters in the series. So yeah, no offense, Benjamin, but you don't compare anything to Carol at all. She's way tougher in the zombie apocalypse than Benjamin, but, I like the part. She's like, you're not me, go home. So, anyway, there's that, and then, of course, he tells Ezekiel, that he saw Carol out there, and he's like, did she seem well, and he's kind of asking questions, and we get to see basically that, we get the idea in that scene that Ezekiel is interested in Carol, and, I mean, we kind of knew that right away, you can kind of just tell, but, they really explored that a lot more in that episode. So, Benjamin's saying we should say yes to Rick for fighting the Saviors, and of course the next day he just doesn't. But surely Ezekiel thought about it. Of course he says yes later on, which, speaking of Benjamin, of course, we get the drop off, in the last scene. So Carol goes to the kingdom, of course, which is, one of the. Well, I mean, there's the drop off before that, but really, Benjamin's not really included in that. He doesn't really get much time. But basically, long story short, we get to see that Carol goes to the kingdom to ask Morgan if Daryl was telling the truth. About everybody's okay and all that kind of stuff. And, he's like, he sees Carol kill like 5 zombies outside of the kingdom walls. And he's just like, can you teach me how to do, where is Morgan? She's like, she doesn't care. And she's like, no, go do your drop, So, we get to see that. And then, of course, we get the scene. So, Jared, of course, and, the rest of the Saviors, Gavin and all them, they point the guns. And, of course, they give over their guns to the Saviors. But then, of course, Jared decides, stupid Jared, of course, I might add, to shoot Benjamin and kill him, pretty much. I mean, at that point, kill him. So, I mean, I really don't like that scene. It's really, really sad, and it's really stupid, and I really hate how Jared is just... I mean, I like the scene. I'm just saying, I was really annoyed with Jared right there, and I'm just like, man, how much more are they going to make us hate this guy? Like, seriously. Then you just shoot, like, an innocent teenage boy, I mean, he didn't do anything. Like, man. So, of course, he bleeds out, and that's it. He dies pretty quickly. I mean, it's a pretty quick death, but a very, very crazy death as well. Can I say unexpected? No, because I kind of felt like they might have killed him off to convince Ezekiel to fight the Saviors, but, of course, Richard was responsible for all that because of the missing, what was it, Cantaloupe? So I don't know, man. I really, I was really pissed off at Jared when he did that. So write your comments in the comment section below about Benjamin's character. That's all I can really say, but he's a really, really cool character throughout the series, and I definitely think that Benjamin is a character that, throughout the series, I feel like, even though he was only in 4 episodes, I think he was a character that they could have kept for another season, and I would have been like, okay, that's cool. I like his character. So they could have even had him become like the comic Carl, if they wanted to, instead of Henry. Because I was kind of like, when they introduced him in season 7, I was like, oh, like, are they doing that? But I'm like, no, they're going to give that to Henry, most likely, because then we heard the spoiler that in the mid-season finale of season 8, Carl was going to die, and I was like, okay, well, great, Carl's going to be dead pretty soon, so I was like, who's going to take the comic Carl storyline? But, of course, Benjamin was killed. So, it wasn't him, but it kind of was Henry, because he had the stuff with Lydia in season 9, but... still wasn't the same because Henry was just killed off in the Pikes. So, anyway, write your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about, Benjamin's character throughout the series? And do you think that they could have kept him for another season? And how do you feel about his character? Do you feel like he's kind of like a meh character? You don't really care? He wasn't around long enough? Do you like his character? Do you think he's a good kid? And, you like the kind of father-son type relationship between him and Morgan, the who's the girl and stuff like that. So, it was a good journey for his character. Not too long, but he was there for a decent amount of time, and definitely he wanted Ezekiel to, say yes to Rick and the others. So that's another thing too that he did. So, to fight the Saviors and stuff like that. So, anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Of course, write your comments in the comment section below, and of course, if you're new here, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Walking Dead videos. Of course, we do these Saturday Spotlight videos every week, well, except for last week. But let's try to forget about that. Let's try to pretend that didn't happen. So big apologies to Brian Archon, but shout out to him for this video. And of course, write your comments in the comment section below. Who do you want me to do a character spotlight video next week? We're back to the character spotlight videos, guys. So very sorry, but let's get back into the routine of the character spotlight videos every Saturday. And of course, I will catch you guys tomorrow for a Let's Chit Chat video. Peace out.